Hi there, namaste, and welcome back to another spiritualistic pick a card reading. Today I'm channeling a message to you from Lemuria. So please take a deep breath, drawing the energy up your spine to create a clear and open channel. And as you exhale, allow yourself to come into clear knowing which group or groups has your message in it for you today from Lemuria. We have group number 1 on the left with By the Moon. Group number 2 in the center with Material Matters. And group number 3 on the right with Mental Narrative. As always, the timestamps to your readings are listed below in the description box, as well as all the rest of my information if you're interested in checking out my Follow Your Heart Oracle deck, my Light Codes Oracle deck, any of the books that I've written and published, the journals that I've published, or if you're simply interested in a personal reading or Reiki session. Thank you so very much for being here. If you would like to take a look at more exclusive content, I have 2 membership channels. One that is a little bit more channel oriented, which is my YouTube membership Inner Circle, and one which focuses a little bit more on 3D guidance, which is my Patreon. Each one gets an exclusive pick-a-card reading every single week, so that combined with my YouTube, that is 3 pick-a-cards every week. Thank you so very much for being here. I'm sending you all my love, light, and gratitude, and I will see you at your reading. Namaste. Hi there, Group 1. Namaste, and welcome to your channeled message from Lemuria. You selected the first group with the By the Moon card. The first message that wants to come through here for you is that you are very much aware of certain repeating cycles and patterns that certain collectives or certain bits of the collective are going through. You are also aware at this point in time that you feel very far removed from these cycles and patterns and cages, if you will, of those others. While it is not your job to break others out of their patterns and cycles, as you know, those who try to awaken others need awakening themselves. However, it is your responsibility to observe what is going on around you and to make sure that you continue to put yourself in conducive environments to you and your growth. Lemuria would like to open its doors for you for a while, Group number 1. We would like to welcome you into our home. Whether you find this through meditation, through energy, through grid work, or by a geographical location, we would love to spend some time with you. We feel that you and us have much to learn from each other, and that it would be a beautiful and expansive moment for us to sit down and grow, learn from, and experience one another. Lemuria loves it when you tap in with them, and they are aware that it has been a while since the last time you were truly deeply connected with them. Perhaps in passing here and there, but not to the full extent that you are capable of, Group number 1. There is going to be a significant lunar event, significant for you, and this is going to be something that will create a severance point or a marker in your life. There was then, and then there was now. This will likely be something that is glossed over by pop culture, mass media, and your local favorite astrologers, for it will simply be one lunar event, as there always are. This for you is an activation portal. When others are in chaos, you are in peace. When others are disrupted and confused, you are still and have clarity. Lemuria would like for you, or they would like to see you, practice some forms of your original craft that you have not gotten around to in a while. They're showing me a staff or a walking stick. This can be significant for some of you in your culture or in your Akashic records for you as an individual. Or this may just be a sign to look out for. Either way, you're being asked to go on a lunar voyage. Just like the astrologers used the stars and the moon in order to geolocate themselves, to navigate, to find significant events, to predict the future. Again, there is memorization and there is understanding. Comprehension is a lot larger of a topic than it is a word. And you are being called to utilize your comprehension, your original knowing, and continue to transform. You see yourself as a butterfly, Group 1, as you've gone through many transformations, when in fact, at this point, you are a caterpillar. This is not to diminish your state of being. It is merely to emphasize the type and size of transformation that you are about to undergo. Your gift of sight and foresight is unmatched. And you are very much aware that to learn a skill and to understand a principle are two different things. But they have been woven together because often guesstimation is close enough and distance makes the heart grow fonder. Lemuria is aware that you have memories that you would like to share, and that you have experiences and memories with or near them that seemingly are lesser heard of, lesser known, or immediately misunderstood. There is an energy around you, Group Number 1, that can see what you share, because it is not clouded by bias, by guesstimation. And this energy will present itself towards you once more when the time is right and when you are breaking out of your cocoon. This is a catalyst moment for you. Remember, beauty is in the eye of the beholder. And there is nothing about you, mind, body, or spirit that is not an eye. Since your spiritual eye has been wide opened to the point where you are no longer under the illusion that there is a spiritual eye, allow yourself to go where the vibration resonates with you, as opposed to alchemizing and shifting the vibrations around you to align with you and to make you comfortable. You are going to be experiencing a grand adventure, spiritually and physically. And as this period of your life waxes and wanes, keep in mind this significant lunar event while everyone pays attention to the solar. Pay attention to the moon. And when everyone pays attention to the moon, Group Number 1, look at the sun. Lemuria would like to let you know, group number 1, that your grace does not get overlooked. Your devotion does not get overlooked. And although you may feel as though rumors spread like wildfire, or false projections or information spread like wildfire, remember why you keep your head up, group number 1. Because it takes strength and courage to face the truth, and absolutely none to consume everything in your sight. One is deadly, while the other expansive. But there is no substitute for truth, integrity, and discretion in any realm, let alone this one. Okay. That was your channeled portion of your message. So group number 1, let's get into your tarot cards to see what Lemuria would like to say to you. Channeled messages, please, from Lemuria to group number 1. What would you like to share with my beautiful, beautiful group number 1 friend, Lemuria? Okay. 10 of coins, beautiful. 10 of cups, beautiful. Ooh. Okay, yes. You're showing me someone diving into a pool, and this pool is like an oracle pool. It's liquid light, it's very mystical, it's very purifying, it's just very blissful. You are about to dive into this oracle pool of your own, if you will, and this is also what the star card is created for. This is what the original symbology of this is. You're also guided by the Pleiades at this time, just so you know. Lemuria would like you to know that you have closed out a lot of tough chapters that is... They're showing me situations where you know something to be true because you've lived it, you've breathed it, you've experienced it, it's your normal. And there are others who are wondering whether or not it's true. And you are being asked to maintain your integrity and walk away from stupid. I never use that word. Okay. We have the Fool card. What's going on? We have the Queen of Wands. We have Temperance at the back of the deck here, if you can see. And this is also, they're showing me that this looks like someone doing energy work on someone's brain. Okay, we have the Queen of Wands and the 8 of Coins. Okay. Yes, yes, yes. If you spend every day of your life knowing that you are who you are, and then suddenly an illusion of the physical realm comes and tells you otherwise, while you are being given an opportunity to dive into this next chapter of your life, will you stay and fight a useless battle that you already know is not worth your time? Or will you step into the blessing that you've been working so very hard for? The reason why you are tired and perhaps triggerable for that petty and irrelevant battle. Pay attention to the moon at this time. Lemuria would like for you to know that you have always been in the right place at the right time. And there is no mistaking that. Everything in the universe occurs perfectly, and you know this as well. Lemuria has a lot to show you and a lot to offer you, and in fact, Lemuria, as we know it, is only one door that holds many portals within it to many different realms, many different worlds, some of which you are familiar with, but perhaps could not know where to find them. And these are not Lemuria. Lemuria can also be a hallway or a gateway or a portal between here and there. Do not underestimate the power of truth and the power of your own internal guidance. Because every single thing that you have known and watched others neglect, every single thing that you have stood in integrity for instead of taking the easy way out, is exactly why karmically you receive your harvest, you receive your abundance. You get to dive into the fountain of youth. You get to explore Lemuria. And remember, Group 1, Lemuria does not open its gates for everyone. With this being the case, you are aware of the divinity and the guidance that has gone into making you who you are today, as a soul, let alone as a person. There is one particular Lemurian guide that is coming through the forefront today, and they would like you to know that they're showing me someone pulling a scroll out of their sleeve, and they're saying this is an invitation. It's an invitation for you to sit with a master and the elders and to learn information that cannot leave that realm. This is also why Lemuria does not let everyone in. You can see it, you can feel it, you can experience it, you can learn from seeing it and feeling it and experiencing it. But this being would like to invite you into a community. They're showing me what looks like a council or a room of masters and elders sitting in a circle. I suppose a thought group. There are others that you have learned about and studied that have also been invited into this room. This happens once or twice every century in human years. And so they would like to open this portal for you, and they would like to let you in to the universe that is Lemuria. It is not just overlaying what you see. It is far more than the other side of the veil. When you understand, you will see. But much is not to be said, because you must receive an invitation. Group number 1, you have been invited. So, if and when you answer the call, look to the moon for your signal. Okay, group number 1, that is your channeled message from Lemuria. I hope that this helps shed love, light, and clarity on your situation. And as always, I hope you have an amazing rest of your day, week, month, year, and incarnation in this beautiful, magical realm. Thank you for being here, and I'll see you next time. Namaste. Hi there, Group 2. Namaste, and welcome to your channeled message from Lemuria. You selected the second group with the Material Matters card. Tapping in, the first thing that I'm getting is that everything is within your sight. Also, there is something relating to the water element, so emotions, intuition, previous visions, or perhaps wishes for the future that are kind of taking the forefront right now. There is something that is emotionally or intuitively charged that you are noticing is almost allowing you to have more of a bird's eye view. I'm being shown when you focus on something close, and it actually gives you a span of what is going on entirely in the background. Like in a picture, when you're taking a picture of something, you look at what's in the forefront, and can see the whole background, or you look at what's in the background and the forefront becomes blurry. They're showing me something like this, and the item in the forefront is water, okay? With the Material Matters card, Lemuria wants to let you know that things are currently being maneuvered in your favor in the material realm. Your job at this moment in time is to continue to move forward and say yes, especially with some of the things that may have an emotional attachment to them. More so, to move forward almost anyway, regardless of any emotionally charging situations that might be coming up. You are being called at this moment in time to trust the process for everything and know that what has begun is now going to be continued so that it can close out. They're showing me the energy here of 8 with Ota in the middle. There is an energy of the infinity loop, the repeating, all that is repeating, and Material Matters here. This is abundance. This is a repetition of abundance in a way that is normalized for your soul. The reason that Lemuria wants to connect with you today, the reason this message is coming through them, is because they would like for you, whether or not you resonate with being a grid worker, they would like your physical vibration in a particular space. This can be either geographically, this can be emotionally, this can be spiritually, this can just be at a particular date and time, and you will do what is organic with your natural flow, and this will automatically place you where you need to be. But they would like to let you know that at this point in time, you are channeling vibrations. Maybe this is something you do all the time consciously, but you are being called to trust that at this moment in time, there is this illusory energy, there is this expansive energy. They're showing me, I have a copper wrapped moonstone with jade in front of me that I wrapped, and they're showing me the copper is the conductor, and the moonstone and the jade is letting me know that this is an opportunity that you can trust, and that there is something here that is blessed, abundant, rare. They're showing me like celebrated, honored, revered, and also detoxifying as well. With this Material Matters, there's something here where you're being called to trust that the ending energies of something are more prominent than you're currently thinking that they are, and to remember that with all endings come beginnings, and that this again exists within infinity. All things that are perceived to be finite are only so because they exist within an infinite. You are aware of this, but you still perhaps have some questions. They're showing me a horse, well, specifically they're showing me the word ma, which is horse in Mandarin. And it's also indicating in a different context what kind of questions you might have. So you're being called to trust that this is something where you are being charged forward. This is something where you're going to feel passionate, you're going to feel steadfast, you're going to feel wild and free, but also in a way that is very, I'm hearing detail-oriented and poised. I'm hearing, I chimed in with a haven't you people ever heard of? Lemuria is letting me know that they have been working for a while in order to get not through to you, but to get through you. There is an energy that you can become a portal to, that you are naturally and abundantly a portal to. And this is less so a responsibility, an action-oriented responsibility on your part. However, they're letting me know that this is something where if there is a shadow of a doubt that something is meant to come into fruition, or if there's a shadow of a doubt about something opening, about something closing, about the way that you feel, about if something's reciprocal, then this is what is going to be cleared up. And this energy in your material life actually mirrors a significant and groundbreaking moment in your own soul's journey, your spiritual journey, but most prevalently, your soul's journey. They wanted to make that distinction because you are aware that you are not just a spiritual being, you are aware of all that you are. So because of this, Lemuria wants to let you know that you are here to seed a vibration, and you will also be receiving a gift in return. They would also like to let you know that any energies that have been refracting shadow or lack of clarity in any area of life for you at all, any area that feels as though it's needed extra attention, it's being restricted for a moment, or that you need to have patience, these weights are going to be lifted. This was merely a moment of patience in the material world, so that what it is that you truly desire, what truly serves you, and how you can truly serve in your most high and abundant vibration or manifestation of self is exactly what comes through you. This is not something where you could have done any different, or you should have done any different, or where any different should have or would have or could have occurred. Lemuria wants to let you know that you are about to experience something that you are correct, you've been called towards, and that the action is going to be taken care of for you. Do not worry about the opinions of others at this time, because these are all refractions and reflections of yourself. Do not pay too much attention to this detail at this moment in time, because at this moment you are being called to put your energy where you are feeling called to put your energy. And in between these moments of patience, you will notice that things kind of work themselves out on their own. For example, if you spend 3 days in meditation, and this really bothers somebody, because that doesn't work for them. Their process that has nothing to do with you is something that is happening on its own. Now, this is one example, and this is merely happenstance, but Lemuria wants to let you know that there's something significant about a book that you have access to, a book that you've read, or a book that you're writing. For some of you, it is all three. However, they would like to let you know that there's something significant about a book, and that this book is something that you have access to that maybe others in your vicinity, others in your circle, others in your group, or if this is something that you're writing, just others in general, do not have access to, or would not know to look here, or would not have this within them to be expressed. This is so significant because group number 2, this is a activational point for the manifestation of this portal that you have been evolving into. And while you are walking as this portal, Lemuria will be sending energies through you, through the spiritual and vibrational energetic realm, should you remain open and receptive to these energies. Lemuria is glad to be connecting with you today, and they want to let you know that things are being taken care of for you on your behalf, and that all you must do is show up and listen to that inner guidance. This is really all you are ever required to do, anyway. I see that you are not one to get wrapped up in the illusion of the material realm, and due to this, you may be very abundant. Okay, let's get into your tarot cards. Thank you for sticking around for the channel portion. Okay, Lemuria, please come through with messages for group number 2. Messages from Lemuria to group number 2, please. There's an energy here where you already know what they're about to say, or you already know what they're going to say, and they're showing me a cave. Okay. Some things that you are suspecting are connected, or are not sure if they are connected, are connected. And I'm also hearing the song The Cave by Mumford & Sons, and they're saying the synchronicities go deeper than you think that they do. They're showing me the 10 of Cups, and I'm hearing do not take these because this resonates with the 4 of Swords energy, and they're letting me know that you are past this, but the 10 of Cups is presenting itself. Okay. Messages, please, from Lemuria to... That's it. With the 3 of Swords at the back of the deck. So they want to go a little bit deeper. Okay, they're letting you know this. So, yes. There's something that you have been holding within your heart for a while. And this is something that you are being drawn back towards again and again. And they're showing me a reflection in water. Again, this water element is really coming out strongly. This is something where you have cleansed this energy, and you have also perpetuated the cleansed version of this energy. Therefore, something is manifesting in front of your face. Now, this is something that if you were to tap in with the old version of this emotional body, 10 of Cups, making another appearance. Here we go. So this lets me know this is something that you have prayed for, you have meditated on, something that perhaps triggered a spiritual awakening for you, or something that is maybe just something you've needed to heal from in general. This is something where you have fully cleansed out these energies. They no longer are a part of you. You no longer resonate with this energy. However, the situation or the trigger or the experience that brought about this energy in the first place in some way is coming back around. And they're saying that there's a reason why something was held so brightly and so tightly in your heart. Now, of course, we know not to hold on to anything, because when we let it go, it must swing away. They're showing me if you have a pendulum and you really, really want something, okay, you take the pendulum and you pull it towards you. Well, then when you release it, it's going to swing the other way. And when you don't want something, so you push the pendulum away, it inevitably comes towards you. This is why we practice detachment in law of attraction and other manifestation skills, and it's a lot less than trying to find the exact vibration you're trying to hold and squeeze really hard. This is something that you likely don't resonate with, but likely have experienced or seen around you. Again, they're using the pendulum analogy, and they're showing me that you are going to be receiving, they're showing me, okay, they're using my clairvoyance here, so let me just explain to you the energy that's coming through. They're showing me in Beauty and the Beast. There's a rose that is encapsulated and it's filled with magic. They're showing me a bed of flowers, a garden of roses, an entire bed of roses. It is the one with which this flower belongs to, coming to the flower and surrounding it in its own environment, in its own habitat, and this dissolving that case that it's been encased in, and that magic being unleashed once more. So that was the vision that they were showing me, and it's very rainbowy, it's very gentle, it's very sacred, it's very realistically Disney magical. Okay, very crystalline as well. Now, Lemuria wants you to know, group number 2, that they have something for you, and that they're showing this to you in visions. There is something that you might see as, there's something that you perhaps once saw as a toxin that you are learning is a medicine, and maybe the other way around as well. There is something here that is underlying, very, very subtly relating to your freedom. We can see this because we have 4 of coins. The moon, numerologically, is a 9, and the queen of coins. So this is receiving something that was held back, and the moon, something again hidden, unseen, something emotionally deep for you, and relating to number 9, the energy of freedom. But instead of freedom, it's higher learning. Well, maybe instead of having this freedom, we learn how to bring that feeling into this moment. Okay? Energies like this. Instead of pushing or pulling the pendulum, we remain balanced and we learn about that form of alchemy instead of trying to manifest, trying to cleanse and clear and protect and seal and all of these things that are valid until they're outgrown. We have this energy that Lemuria is presenting for you today about you hitting an event horizon in your life, and as you know, or as you are learning, on either side of an event horizon is filled with entropy. This is unorganized chaos, but it is a pattern that seems not to repeat itself, but when you zoom out, you truly can find a pattern. It just is so much so that it's very difficult to see, and so difficult that many don't look for it. What we see here is a singularity, a moment that is creating an event horizon for you, but there's one on the left side and one on the right side. So we see this energy swirling around you, and we see you being filled with this sovereignty, this power, this personal power, spiritual power, and this emotional fulfillment, this community, this happy family, this support system that is going to be floating you from one energy into another. And this in and of itself is going to be the completed torus of, if you're looking at this in a Keylontic kind of way, you're going to be able to see that there is a completed torus here and that you are on the outside of it. Because your brain is not in the middle of the chaos. You're not trying to waft your way through spiritual lessons because this is no longer relevant for you. But from this perspective of the outside, you're able to see from a bird's eye view what's going on. Yet we have this energy coming out, that one energy that has been within your heart, that has been that rose locked in that perfect little box for safekeeping for its moment, whatever that moment might be, whenever it looks like, just knowing that it's significant and putting it aside for later. Lemuria wants to let you know that this is going to be something that sustains and makes both innocent, perfect, and permanent a particular energy in your life that you've been striving very hard to get to manifest, perhaps in an old version of you, or to maybe experience at some point before you go. This is something where you're going to feel like you're shining bright like the sun, and that this is natural and normal for you. You're going to feel like this always has been and always will be, and this is also going to be a moment of consciousness for you, where you likely feel as though your body has walked through this entire life so that it can experience this moment. This is a big energy, and you've likely experienced bits and pieces of experiences like this before. Lemuria is letting you know that this will come again. You'll be stepping into a golden portal, but as you step into this golden portal, you will also be an etheric and crystalline portal yourself. This is letting me know that your vibration is something where your astral experience and Lemuria are working together, perhaps on a grid, on an evolution, on some sort of fated moment, event, vibration, even if this is just in the subconscious realm, two particular vibrations colliding with one another. We know that when two specific molecules, if you will, if two specific particles clash together, if they bounce off each other in the right place, at the right time, at the right frequency, at the right speed, all of these extenuating circumstances, if all of the variables are correct and these two pieces, these two particles hit each other correctly, then you have an explosion, you have an awakening, you have a large portal that can be opened. This can be used as a healing modality. This can also be used as a weapon. This can be used as an alchemical tool. And this is also something that is going to be molecularly and vibrationally occurring for you in your spiritual path between your astral Akashic body and Lemuria. So this is what they're letting me know today. They're showing me a lot of analogies. They're utilizing science, and they're also using my clairvoyance very strongly, so this can be significant for you. I'm also feeling a buzzing in my sternum, right above my heart chakra, but not quite in the throat chakra vicinity, so in the portal between those two. If I were to personally give you advice up until this moment in time, they're telling me I can skip that, okay? Paying attention to that channel, okay? So, Lemuria would like for you to know, group number 2, that something is not going to be able to hurt you any longer, and that there's a reason why there's a 3 in the Om sign. Do not underestimate the power of the solar plexus, not the ego, the solar plexus. Do not underestimate the power of Om. Do not underestimate the power of you. And do not underestimate the power of 3. Okay, so some of you might be working with triangles at this moment in time. Again, we did have Keylontics come out, which works heavily with, in a 2-dimensional sense, triangles, 3rd-dimensional pyramids, 4th-dimensional, what is it called? Those spirals that have the twist in the middle. I'm getting ahead of myself. So sacred geometry, significant here, certainly. Or this can just be something to help you tap in when you are in this moment of activation, when you're in this grid work. Perhaps this is a vision or an experience you're going to be shown, and at this point in time you'll go, oh, okay, I'm seeing this shape progress. Okay. I'm getting that there's something that you're going to be able to see here in this moment with your spiritual eye. You're going to feel Lemuria very strongly, but you're also going to have this awareness that what you're seeing with your spiritual eye, you're not going to be able to see with your physical eyes. This is seeing something that exists outside of this realm, not in a way where if you are a medium and you see shadow walkers or earth walkers or ghosts or something like this, you can kind of see like a 3D or 2D looking energy, like an orb or a human-shaped thing or whatever this is that you're seeing. You can kind of see a 3rd-dimensional enough version of this energy. What you're going to be seeing and experiencing is not something that will be able to touch this realm, which is why the energies have to be precise when they collide. Okay? At this moment in time, Lemuria wants you to know, do not hesitate to call in support, especially when you do not need it. And trust that you are already supported and can trust the support that is around you at this time. Your creativity and Piscean energies that are coming to the forefront right now would really, really like to be held and embraced by you. This will lead you into this innocent energy, which will lead you into this purified energy and lead you into this permanent energy, okay? You are stepping from, I'm hearing the 2nd to the 3rd decan of Pisces, okay? In one area of your spiritual lesson, in one area of your soul's journey. So as this occurs, take a look at, if you're an astrology person, I would highly recommend taking a look at your draconic chart, or perhaps the spiritual astrology instead of the earth astrology. It's very, very much more telling, and that is separate from the draconic astrology. If you get it, you get it, and if you don't, you will understand it by looking at it, okay? This is not guesswork, this is not approximate calculations, this is precise, and again, something that can only be known akashically, or beyond. Not something that can even be fathomed from the earth looking up at the stars. That is the reason why we use the stars as our guide. This is the other way around. Because of this, you are ready, you are here, you are listening to and expressing the truth and your truth. And again, do not underestimate the power of 3. I'm hearing the power of 3 blesses thee. Okay? Group number 2, that is your channeled message from Lemuria. I hope this helps shed love, light, and clarity for you. And I hope you have an amazing rest of your day, week, month, year, and incarnation in this beautiful, magical realm. You beautiful, magical being. I'll see you next time, and I love you. Namaste. Hi there, Group 3. Namaste, and welcome to your reading. Today I'm channeling a message to you from Lemuria, and you selected the 3rd group with the mental narrative card. The first message that I'm getting from Lemuria is that they are working their way through you, and they would like for you not only to be an observer, a witness of your mental narrative, but to experience consciousness outside of it. Many of you have practiced this before, and some of you are even in this state today. But this is what they wish to draw to your attention today. There is no more rewiring or reframing that is necessary for you at this point in your life when it comes to your mental state. And as you are now about to emerge, as you are shining differently, it is important that you are aware of the fact that when people look at you, when people feel your energy, when people hear your wisdom, especially when it comes from outside consciousness to your mental narrative, when it comes from wisdom and not knowledge, when it comes from your astral or beyond and not your mental. This is, at this moment in time, vibrationally similar to if there were a Lemurian being walking around our realm, which many of you know that there are. However, in its truest, purest natural form, for the 3D non-awake eyes to see, that aura, that being, that size, that magnitude, that vibe, that knowledge, that wisdom, that love. This is the energy that you are giving off at this time. So group number 3, you may be finding that you have a deeper connection to Lemuria, or you may be feeling that your vibration right now is highly attuned with Lemuria. You may be feeling drawn towards the earth and many different realms that overlay it. Lemuria would like for you to allow yourself to decompress and be okay with everything that occurs within and around you. You are more than an observer, you are more than a witness. You have more deeply than surrendered. You are in a place of true conscious embodiment. There are some ways in which you are desiring to be more active in this life, in this body. Whether this be something like physical exercise or starting a business, whether it be becoming a bit more social or traveling across the world. You are being called, as well as are observing, a wish for yourself to become more active. Lemuria would like to let you know that this is a ripple effect of the high-speed energy occurring within you. As we know, time and space is the 4th dimension, and as you know as well, Lemuria does not exist in the 4th dimension. Therefore, group number 3, you're being called at this point to use time and space as alchemical tools, just as you would a crystal, a candle, or a breath. You are about to be experiencing a change in the wind, and allow yourself to feel the beautiful, refreshing, cooling sensations of cold, of breeze. You may feel as though you are drawn towards dryness or coldness at this time. And as is the case, allow yourself to go towards these sensations, to go towards these feelings, to go towards these characteristics. Some of you might benefit from putting a lemon in your water. Some of you may want to consume ginger. Things like this are going to help you allow your true consciousness and your physical body to move at the same speed. Something that requires a lot of training, a lot of diligence, and a long spiritual journey in order to actually keep in sync. This is not something that is attained throughout one lifetime. And so, group number 3, Lemuria would like to thank you for being here today. And they would like to let you know that you are ready. It is time now. Group 3, I'm going to get into your tarot now. And I felt called to use the Light Seers Tarot for your group, which isn't what I use for the other 2 groups. And I'm hearing it's because of the color, okay? You have the Ace of Cups and the Star at the break. Messages, please, to group number 3 from Lemuria. Lemuria, what would you like to tell group number 3? They want to tell you that they're not going anywhere. The Chariot. Okay, some of you are aware that you are moving quickly in life, that you're moving forward, and that this has a lot to do with others as well as your senses. Okay. There is something here, a sign that you have been experiencing intermittently, that is going to remind you of a nostalgic period in your life. This may be something that was not that big of a deal when you were walking through it, but the energy imprint is something that is parallel to what you are experiencing today. You have cleansed. If you were to take that stream of energy and your current stream of energy and put them next to each other side by side, any density or difference that would be in the middle has been cleansed and cleared astrally, spiritually. And so it is now time to weave these energies together. Some of you may practice timeline weaving. Some of you may practice spatial weaving or even telekinesis. You have a very strong cognitive power, group number 3. A lot of your will is exerted immediately in the outside realm. This is the kind of thing where you can manifest anything that you would like. And not because you are really good at the law of assumption, not because you are really good at your affirmations, because this is all mental narratives. This is because you are no longer in a state of karma. When you are no longer in a state of karma, you do not have desires to fulfill. Therefore, you are always in a state of detachment, and it does not matter to you what occurs. However, being outside of the realm of experience allows you to enjoy what is occurring within it. Lemuria is aware that you are seeing some of the tropes and illusions that are placed upon the experiential realm, primarily that of time and space. And there is an opportunity for you in the near future for you to release something that never got off the ground, as well as to grow in your abundance. And this is going to occur only vibrationally. When we speak about frequency, we still speak about space. So you are aware. You are aware. Lemuria wants to let you know, group number 3, that you have been standing in your power for a long time. You are very purified and grounded being, and you are successful in your own terms of success. You are confident in who you are, and you are positive when you do or do not enjoy something, and it is aligned, it is in tune with the divine. When something is moving towards cosmic consciousness, you enjoy it. When it is moving away, it is uncomfortable. This is no longer subjective. You are in flow with all that is. This is more than just stepping on the brink of a timeline and noticing extra angel numbers. This is more than feeling synchronicities and just knowing that it goes deeper. This is Lemuria coming through for you today, Group 3, to let you know that you are far, far, far beyond the facades. And you are also aware of why you're here. And you are not under the illusion that there is a mission to be accomplished. You're not under the illusion that there is anything wrong. You are not under the illusion that there's anything to be done or fixed or changed. And you can manifest your will literally at the snap of a finger. With this, continue to experience what you are bringing to fruition by pulling it towards you, still in a consciousness of being outside of the mental observer. You have been deep, deep within Lemuria before, Group number 3. And as you allow yourself to expand and you allow yourself to cool down, you will continue to understand exactly why you are still pretending to experience this body. Most of you already do, but for some of you this still fades in and out. You are not actively a part of the collective with which there is an illusion that all are a part of. Whatever this means to you, this understanding will grow and deepen. Lemuria is sending in some assistance for you. You have learned all that you have come here to learn, if you have come here to learn anything. You have shared your wisdom and knowledge for whenever they are ready to be understood and taken seriously. And you are no longer concerned about external perception because you know this does not exist either. With this energy, you are aware that you are your own portal. You are your own law of attraction. You are your own Taurus, and you are your own divine mother, divine father, sister, brother, friend. When you look around and you experience all the versions of you that do not know that they are going to be looking for what it is that you provide, it is no longer your job to provide this for them ahead of time and wait for them to catch up. As you move on, you move along, you are going to notice that once you step out of this lonely, misunderstood chapter of your life and you step into a definitive and supporting new chapter, again, both of these are illusions, but a conscious choice of your embodiment, you're going to notice that you will begin to be understood and further sought after. You have been doing work that was unheard of previously. You were sharing truths that were incomprehensible previously. There is no more for you to learn. And so when met with the question, who do you think you are? Or with the phrase, you're a know-it-all, or challenged for your perception, you are aware that you do not speak opinion. You are aware that you do not guess. You are aware that you have seen and experienced it all. Yes, all. And for you, group number 3, it is time for you to pull back from the embodiment of this energy. Not because it's not inherently within you, but because it is. Because you have been acting through it, you have been gifting this to others who have been misusing it, who have been abusing it, who have been misunderstanding it. Because these are also yous. That they are not the versions of you who are ready to respect and honor and understand this information, this wisdom, this truth, this vibration, this consciousness. And so, as you walk away, you will notice that your trail of breadcrumbs gets followed. Not only does your trail of breadcrumbs become followed, but they will notice when and where it stops. Others will be curious why. You are not. And so because of this, you're going to be living more in other realms than this current one. Most of you already do. And you will be given an opportunity to create something new that honors you and gives to you, not in the ways that are fathomable to others around you, but in the ways that are genuinely tit for tat for you. Those who have copied you, those who have attempted to siphon your energy, those who have attempted to challenge you or keep you down, they will not be having a wonderful time for the next few years. You know this is true. You have experienced the same, and you have grown out of this millennia ago. So, as all masks are being revealed, but you were sharing only truth, when those authentic souls that are strong enough to break through the mask and begin following that trail expect to see you at the end, it will become apparent how far ahead you truly are. Lemuria would like to provide a safe haven for you, group number 3. If you feel like you need a break or you need community that understands, if you want to create something or you want to feel at home, these are not things that you do not feel in your life, in your body, in your consciousness. However, it can be harrowing to be surrounded by many beings who will spend the whole rest of their life getting to a place that is still not where you began your life from. And this is not to compare for any sake other than reminding you who you are and what you've been through in order to get here. The reasons that you are here right now. And with this being the case, you release attachment to narrative, yourself or others. Spend some time with Lemuria. They have been calling to you. You know where to find them. And you will, finally, have not just a good time, but a perfect time. Not just because that's where your consciousness is, but because your life around you speeds up to match the being within. The extenuating circumstances, the external forces, such as time, space, astrological transits, others trying, others lying. All of these were avoided as to not touch your perfect heaven. As you have been one of the most patient beings that Lemuria has ever worked with, you have needed to wait. And this is only because you already know who you are. You've already done this work many lifetimes ago. Therefore, you are not confused. You can create whatever you like, and there is nothing for you to attach to or detach from, because everything simply is. If you wish to play, manifest the things that come up. If you wish to explain, manifest someone who understands. And if you wish to experience the cold, you will only feel its positive aspects. Okay, group number 3, that was your channeled message from Lemuria. I hope this helps shed love, light, and clarity on your situation, and I hope you have an amazing rest of your day, week, month, year, and incarnation in this beautiful realm. I love you, I'm grateful for you, and I hope to see you next time. Namaste.